Thank you so much, everyone. This is such an inspiring day. I'm so excited to be here. And so I have 8-year-olds following me on Instagram, so I always like to start with a selfie, if you'll indulge me. I'll come to the corner of the room. There we go. And I got a new phone 2 days ago, and I'm still working that one out. Technology fail. Had a few of them today. Here we go. Awesome. Thank you. They love content. It's all about content these days, they say. So, excellent. Very excited to be here. So we're going to disrupt Sydney today. I think we're doing that. I think we're doing a pretty good job of it. So congratulations, everyone. I see all the discussions on Twitter, which are very interesting and thought-provoking. I think that's come up a couple of times. I decided to keep my glasses on because it seems to be the theme after Anthony's discussion. And I'm Dutch, so how about that? So, interesting combination, and thus the very unusual last name. So, so I am here for a number of reasons, I guess. So, Kai, thank you very much for inviting me along. So, I run my own consulting company in Brisbane called Adroit Research. I'm also a researcher at the University of Southern Queensland, researching female entrepreneurship. But I guess what really is my passion, I'm here as a social entrepreneur, and I run a non-profit company called the Tech Girls Movement. So I launched it on International Women's Day last year, 8th of March, and I launched a book called Tech Girls Are Superheroes. So let me just put a little desk up here. So I'm going to talk to you about how to be a heroine. So I had to think today about what am I actually disrupting? Made me really think about this. And so there's a number of things that I feel that I'm disrupting, and it's some of these outdated stereotypes. This may be a little bit confronting, and that's certainly not what I plan to do. It's going to be a nice light presentation, but really changing these traditional notions of work, and I mean that's exactly what Anthony was just talking about in all the presentations before. These unconscious biases that get in our way, and how do we sort of consciously gender the world? It happens a lot, but that's the heavy stuff. I am a researcher, but let's put a nice light spin on it. So I'm a superhero. My name is Juella as a superhero, and I go out and spend a lot of time with schoolgirls, and I try to get them excited about technology, as excited as I get. And there's nothing better than seeing the excitement on their face when they realise the possibilities that they can actually make a difference in the world with technology. So the campaign that I run is called Tech Girls Are Superheroes, and I should have mentioned, if you saw on the first slide, I have my Twitter handle there, so feel free to be tweeting along the way. So Tech Girls Are Superheroes is a book I put together, and it's based on many, many, many years of research. I've been working in this space as a researcher for a long time, and the idea is I present 26 different women who work in STEM, or science, tech, engineering and maths, as superhero characters. And I have distributed 18,000 books since March last year for free to girls across Australia. I'm looking at doing another print run very, very soon, so if you're interested, let me know. But it has been so super successful. I mean, just a couple of days ago, I had a colleague or a friend, her 3-year-old. Now, up until this point, her only identity as a young female has been as a princess. And nothing wrong with princesses, but it's a little bit limiting. If you want to, I don't think we should be a princess. Let's go for the queen. I mean, at least have a bit of power. But I think we need to sort of give them other ways that they can identify and create their own identity. So I've done that through these 26 different superhero characters. So they're all real life people that I know, and all women that have inspired me personally, and they do amazing things with technology, and you may know some of them as well. So they actually change the world every single day, and I'm just trying to tell their stories to those young people we need to inspire. So what is the problem? Now, I'm not a big fan of talking about the problem. I'm all about solutions, but certainly there is a problem. They're saying by 2018, we will not have a quarter of the tech workforce that we actually need. That has serious economic implications all around the world. There are issues with people in industry. They want to hire a diverse workforce. There's endless evidence that diversity breeds good decision making. So on boards, for patents, your patent's more likely to get cited if you have a female on the team. There's a whole bunch of different reasons, and I can give you a whole list of references if you're interested. So certainly if we're not having the people in industry to hire, where do we go? The course I teach at university, I teach first year information systems course in the IT degree. I have 1 female out of 37 in the first year IT course this semester. This is how dire the situation actually is. And yes, there are pockets of positivity, but certainly it's not the norm. So then we go back to schools, and how do we get girls engaged in schools? So I'm very much a believer we need to go as young as possible. Certainly year 11, 12 is much, much, much too late. So I target my book at from year 5, but I have girls as young as 5 years old who are ordering the book quite regularly off the website, which is really inspiring. The solution. Well, I'm here to talk a bit about the solution. There are lots of great things happening around the world in this space, and it seems to have got a lot of traction in the last couple of years. I've been here for a long time. I was one of very few females in my undergraduate IT degree, long time ago. But the problem is there's a lot of disconnect. There's some great things going on, but there's nothing really long-term consistent that keeps the interest and keeps the excitement. So that's what I'm trying to fill. I'm certainly not trying to step on people's toes. I'm all about working together with other people and actually building those connections and actually fixing this problem. I don't want to be standing here talking about this. I would rather that this is something that is not an issue. So what is the answer? For me, it's diversity. And we talk about gender, but I believe we need to have representation from all of the community in the technology that we build. So if you think of something like Twitter, the stats came out of Silicon Valley last year, I think it was. I think 10% of the workforce at Twitter is female. How many females in the room are using Twitter today? Certainly the population isn't represented there. So I like to think about the people who have inspired me along the way. So I'm not sure if you have heard of Ada Lovelace. Any hands in the room? So Ada Lovelace was the first programmer. The first programmer was a woman. You may not have realised that. So she worked with Charles Babbage back in the 1880s, I think it was, and she basically rewrote his entire proof and made awesome enhancements to it. So she was the first programmer. We've got Hedy Lamarr, who was a screen goddess in Hollywood in the 1920s. She actually developed the technology for spread spectrum, which is the basis for Wi-Fi that every single one of us are using here today. Pretty cool. And then you've got Grace Hopper. So Grace Hopper worked for the US Navy. She was an admiral. And what she did, she invented the compiler. So before Grace came along, the way we talked to computers was we had punch cards. We would put them in the computer to talk to them. Grace invented the compiler, which was essentially a program that would allow us to talk to computers with computer code, or with something a bit closer to our language. So revolutionized the world, as I see it, as we all see it. So I'm here to say this is what a tech girl looks like, trying to break down some of those stereotypes, and you've probably seen my shirt. So just trying to give girls some options. And I guess it might seem like a bit like the Spice Girls of IT. Not everyone's a fan of Spice Girls, but it works. It's a concept that works. It gives girls an idea of something to aspire to, something to relate to, and it's actually okay to like technology. There's nothing wrong with that. So I'm running a competition at the moment, and it's called the Search for the Next Tech Girl Superhero. I ran it last year, and I had 18 girls. This year I have 140 girls. Next year I'm hoping to have about 2,000, so we're growing very fast. So I have 140 girls working through a 12-week curriculum online. They join up in teams of 3 to 5. They get online and they work together with a mentor. I match them with a mentor, and through the 12-week process they learn how to build an app. But they spend a lot of time coming up with a problem or a solution to a problem that's important to them in the local community. For me, that's really important about that social good, which is exactly what we're talking about here today. And that's a really nice way to engage young girls, because they do want to help people. I mean, it may be a bit of a stereotype here myself, but there is that idea of that underlying social good. So if we can give them some tools to make a difference, I think that's really, really powerful. So I've got a bunch of judges lined up. The winning team, the pitches will go online by the end of this month, so stay tuned. About 6 of them have come in already. I cry just about every time they come in. They're just fantastic. I have 2 8-year-olds in the competition, which just, I have goosebumps. It's fantastic. So this is one of my teams. They're actually from Sydney, from Abbotsleigh. This came in just a couple of days ago, and this is our future. These are the people who are going to disrupt next after us. So this is one of the entries that came in, and this is by Emma, and Emma's actually from Sydney as well. And so, I mean, just in 12 weeks, look at the, I guess, the sharpness of the design and what's been able to been achieved in just such a short little time. It's just phenomenal. So a bit of feedback from her mum there, just saying it's been a wonderful way for her to learn to develop ideas and use technology in a new way. So for me, that's pretty exciting. Over here we have Miss M, so this is one of the 8-year-olds. She's also from Sydney, funnily enough. I met her mum a few weeks ago, and so she's been working through on her business plan and submitting that as well. And that just came in this morning, that entry, so super exciting. So all of this, I've been doing this for about 1.5 years now, and it's kind of turned from my hobby into something that's a bit more longer term, and I'm more than happy to do that because it's just been super successful, which is just great. So I had to really think about who is my target audience. Yes, it's girls, it's parents, it's teachers, but I need to be a bit more specific than that. So I figure it's me. This is me as a 5-year-old, and I saw the picture earlier of being a child, and I guess this is where Joella comes from. So Joella, my superhero character, I make jewelry, so I think I was kind of predestined at 5 years old to be a superhero, along those lines. But it really made me think, I would like this information when I was that age. If someone showed me the options that I could have in the future, who knows where I would be. Like to think I'd be running the UN or something like that, but who knows. But just giving girls options and giving them an outlet so that they can actually create their own future. So Sarah won the competition last year. She was from Melbourne Grammar. She was 12. She'd created an app called Positive Penguins, and it helps young children learn resilience and build confidence. She had sold 20,000 copies by the time she had already submitted her entry. She was 12 at the time. So I don't know how inadequate you feel right now, but yeah, I certainly do. So amazing, simply amazing. So now she's working on her next app, which is really exciting. We've got Lily Scout here. So Lily is my ambassador, and she ran the first ever Kids Startup Weekend in Queensland. And so she went to the regular startup with the adults, came second, beat most of the adults, decided to run her own startup weekend, and had a whole bunch of awesome things going on. So my question to you, what is your superpower? I've asked a couple of people this morning, and they're still thinking about it, so feel free to tweet me what your superpower is. I like to think that mine is my smile, just because it's actually physically impossible for people to frown at you if you smile at them, like for a period of time. Give it a try, you never know, but it's actually true. So what is your superpower? So just to finish up, one of the programs I'm doing is, so there's 3 things I do. I've got the book, which I give out for free, I run the competition, and I also go into schools and do hands-on workshops. For me, hands-on is the key. We need to get our hands dirty. So I don't know if you've heard anything about digital humanitarianism. There's a guy, Patrick Meyer, in the US, M-E-I-E-R, who's got a fabulous couple of TED Talks and things. And what he does is he mobilizes people around the world to help people who are in need. So to give you an example, in a natural disaster, say in Nepal, let's get people online. We use OpenStreetMaps to literally map out areas of disaster so that people can get aid in real time. So you can jump on the web browser, you can jump in your web browser, and literally from your lounge chair, you can be helping people on other sides of the world. It's super simple. So I've been going to schools and sort of spreading the word about how we can help. Literally, no strong technical skills really needed, but using technology to actually make a difference around the world. So this is really, really powerful, I think. And I got to meet Patrick recently. What was amazing, so Patrick has this whole group of, I think it's 3,000 volunteers around the world who jump on and sort of help people and do this crisis mapping, they call it. 80% of them are women, funnily enough. So these digital Jedis that he calls them, which I think is fantastic. But the fact we have so few women in tech, yet 80% of the people who are volunteering in this technical way is really, really interesting. So there's more work to be done there. So I know we're a little over time, short of time. So I wanted to leave you there and just ask you to be inspired and inspire others. And I mean, really, I couldn't be doing this without sponsors. I've got some really great sponsors. I did have a Kickstarter campaign. I had one of the first in Australia, and things have just been growing from there. So next year I've got lots of exciting plans, so if you want to get involved, let me know. But yeah, join the sisterhood, join the Tech Girls movement. Thank you very much.